About to mute up.
Yeah. The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 7 and 8.
What's going on, Juco?
Behold, he cometh with the clouds, and in every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty.
They say the eyes of wind don't see your soul. They say the eyes of wind don't see your soul.
Yeah. I was lost trying to figure out where I began, drowning in sin till I ran into Isaiah 28:10. So I changed the man within, removing devilish friends, trusting in God, so a thumbing while they stick to the trends, looking at life through microscopic optics, magnifying my lens, confounded pretender beast tendencies who tend to reading, overlooking the most high in his skin, or forgetting Romans 9:1-14. Paul was talking about his kin, and who Yahweh really hate to the end. Surrounded by lies like I'm Daniel in a den. The pastor line got you tired and again. Lawless ones got you worshiping them pagans with blend. The Most High say, I knew you not, what you gon' do then? Praying in the hour, devour our enemies with your prophecies. Trumpet sing when the blood in the wind. Let every Israelite say amen. Let every Israelite say amen. And keep on.
I'm hanging on by faith. I ain't never giving up. All praise go to Yah. We can't never give enough. When circumstances beat it out, he come through and pick you up. Built to make it through the pain. That's your how it's gift us. I'm hanging on by faith. I ain't never giving up. All praise go to Yah. We can't never give enough. When circumstances beat it out, he come through and pick you up. Built to make it through the pain. That's your how it's gift us.
See the gist, and that's our quarterback. The 12 tribe broke the rules and got a flag. Now we trying to get our order back. Too many players in the game, illegal formation. We couldn't afford to get our king sacked. 4th and 10, all go is when he died for y'all to wrong. Call that a 3-step drop back. We holding on like a baby sloth. Cause he saw Crafty running trick plays. He always trying to throw us off. My face solid like a foundation. Found out the truth and caught an audible. Now we changing up the formation. Israel holding on like in vogue. Internalizing all this hate for need captivity got me about to implode. My stick gon' block her when in beast mode. Screaming Netanyahu right before we drop this payload. I want my faith and not my sight. I don't need no escape. We ain't starving over here. We bite on no face.
I'm hanging on by faith. I ain't never giving up. All praise go to Yah. We can't never give enough. When circumstances beat it out, he come through and pick you up. Built to make it through the pain. That's your how it's gift us. Hanging on by faith. I ain't never giving up. All praise go to Yah. We can't never give enough. When circumstances beat it out, he come through and pick you up. Built to make it through the pain. That's your how it's gift us. Hanging on by faith.
Nigga, I'm hangman. All praise go to y'all, I'm not the same man. Well, the weather them Edomite came and dropped us off in this strange land. That's why I wouldn't kick it even if I was karate kid and I was standing in the crane stand. When y'all found me, I was out there soaking wet like I had been doing the rain dance. Ain't no episode of Mr. Rogers that could teach you the same shit that the pain can. Boy, it came through, made me brand new like he'd clean me up with a drain pan. Made me focus, got me ready, helped me steady my aim hand. When he'll put me down, boy, he picked me up. Gave me new sight, repentance, he gon' reinvent and that alone that can give you new life. But I still got a whole lot of scars, gotta heal, cause the nigga done been through a few fights. But I know now if you do right by me and I do right, it make us two right. But I know the goal now, I see the finish line. I done lost faith so many times, cause the world is set up so the sinner shine. But I'm in the winner circle, can't let the devil trick me out of my place. Never let up so I steady my pace, keep hanging on and put trust in my faith.
I'm hanging on by faith, I ain't never giving up. All praise go to Yah, we can't never give enough. When circumstances beat it out, he come through and pick you up. Built to make it through the pain, that's your how it's gift us. Hanging on by faith, I ain't never giving up. All praise go to Yah, we can't never give enough. When circumstances beat it out, he come through and pick you up. Built to make it through the pain, that's your how it's gift us. Hanging on by faith.
Yeah. Brothers in Order coming soon, streaming to all platforms. That's your brother God's Hand of Israel, our brother KG, and myself, Stephen the Martyr. The album is Fire, or should I say Fire? But I'm from Mississippi, so I say Fire. Starting next week, you can find that album on the 29th or the 28th, I think. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, KG. I think it's the 28th,
The singles will be out the 29th, and the album drops the 31st.
31st. Okay. The single that single that you just heard, and the other single that we got coming out, um, Lied to Me. Those two will be dropping on the 29th. Those are the two singles. The full album dropping on the 31st. It'll be streaming on all platforms. Y'all go support your brothers. But I want to welcome y'all to the lesson tonight. Clandestine Timeline Part 2. Brother KG will be leading the lesson tonight. The brother brought out a lot of great information last week on this topic. I know he'll be doing the same tonight. We welcome all of our family in the chat. We welcome y'all to the channel. Thank y'all for tuning in. For the next 2 hours, we'll be sharing the scriptures of the Most High God with y'all. We do this for the four corners of the earth where all of the Israelites are scattered. Thus say the Lord. We bid y'all a shalom. It's your brother from Order Melchizedek Tupelo. We in the building. We are not a hate group. We don't hate anyone because of their race, their religion, or their gender. We are a Bible-based group. We teach from the 1611 King James Version Bible, including the Apocrypha. We teach the keeping of the commandments of the Most High God and the faith in His Son, Yahweh Shai. So, with that being said, hey, get your pen or your pencil, get you something to write on, get you a snack, get you something to drink, hang out with your brothers for the next couple of hours, write down these scripts. Hey, don't believe what we say. Go back and fact check everything that we bring out. We invite you to do that. Matter of fact, we ask you to do that. With that being said, I'm not going to be long-winded. Hey, we in the building. Got a great lesson coming for you. We'll have the scriptures on the screen. Y'all write them down. With that being said, I yield the floor to the teacher for tonight. I got my brother Mikael in the building. Shalom, Hebrew. He on mute. We can't hear what he said, but he talking.
Oh, hey, yeah, I'm here. I'm here on the ones and twos. Shalom, Hebrew.
Okay. Okay. You look relaxed.
I'm
You
like,
look like you relaxing, man.
hey, that's what rest look like when you get some. Look rested.
Okay. Got your camera on tonight. All praise.
Yeah, we shining.
And we got my brother KG in the building tonight. Shalom, Hebrew.
Shalom, brothers on the panel, and shalom, everybody in the chat. Hope y'all having a blessed day. Shalom.
All praise to the Most High. So with that being said, hey, I yield the floor to the teacher.
All right. Well, like the title says, this is Clandestine Timeline Part 2. And if you haven't seen the first one, I suggest that you go back and watch it in your spare time so that you can kind of be caught up on what will be going on tonight or what you will hear tonight. But in this particular, in part two, we will be sitting here talking about the Roman captivity, things that we may or may not know about the Roman captivity. I'm gonna have a few questions that I always like to ask questions just to keep our brains thinking for a minute, and the rest of it is just gonna be we're gonna get into some of the things that we may or may not know, and which leads me to my first question. And brother Steph, I appreciate the introduction. You always do great on the introductions, but which leads me to my first question. Um, Once again, this is just one of these. This is one of those questions where there is no wrong answer. But the question is, according to the Bible, when does the Roman captivity start? Or if you if it makes it easier for you, when do you first hear about the Romans in the Bible? When do you first hear about the Romans in the Bible? And give y'all a quick second to answer that. Brothers on the panel, y'all can always chime in when you're ready.
Breaking up a little bit again, Hebrew. It's like it's doing what it was doing yesterday
Oh man, ready?
already.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Let me see.
Already. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let my brother get his mic situation straightened out. Okay, he come back. Let's see if this work. All praise if it does. Talk to us, KG.
How it sound now? That
Oh
sound a
yeah,
little better.
yeah, that's a whole lot better.
Okay. Okay. But was y'all able to catch that question?
Yeah, I got the question. Well, you probably want to repeat it again for the people in the chat.
Okay. For those that didn't hear me, when was the first time that you read or heard about the Romans in the Bible? When was the first time you read or heard about the Romans in the Bible?
Starting off with the Book of Matthew. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Book of Matthew. What I found out about them. Then you got the Book of Romans, of course, but it's not dealing with them. But you know they was dealing
They
with
was around.
them in
Yeah,
captivity.
they was around. Yeah, they was
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
It was around. Okay. Well, the answer that Brother Mikael gave is the common answer. Of course, that would be something that we will all say, because that is when I actually first learned about the Romans in the book of Matthew. But what if I told you that they were around before then, and they was mentioned in other books before Matthew? And I say that because we kind of briefly went over it in part one. We didn't really touch on it too much, but we briefly went over it.
We mentioned it was mentioned in the Apocrypha as well.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
Apocrypha. Yep.
Exactly. The Romans came around the time of the Maccabean period. Now, what people may not know is that there was two versions of the Roman Empire. There was the first version, which was called the Roman Republic, and then it turned into the Roman Empire. Um, how it sound, y'all? It still sound pretty good.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. You
Okay,
good? You good?
all right. So the actual let's go on and get into it then. The actual Roman captivity started in 64 BC and ended around 193 AD. Now, a lot of people may not know this, but I'm just gonna start off by saying, we're gonna start off talking about the Roman Republic because, like I told y'all, the Roman Republic actually came first before the Roman Empire that you learn about in the New Testament. The Roman Republic was the people the people of the Roman Republic were primarily the descendants of Kittim, the sons of Javan, the fourth son of Japhet. Brother Mikael, will you get me Genesis chapter 10 and verse 4? But one thing that you need to understand about this statement that I'm making is that they were the Roman Republic. They were not Edomites. They were not Caucasians. They
I
looked
got you.
like us.
I got you, Hebrew.
Okay. Genesis chapter 10 verse 4.
Genesis 10 and 4. I'm gonna read one and then I'll read four, Hebrew.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. Verse 4. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Donanim.
Mm-hmm.
Verse
By
5.
these
Right.
were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after his families in their nations.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that, brother Steph. How many of us have watched? Have y'all seen the movie Gladiator 2?
I haven't watched it
No,
yet.
sir.
Well, I watched it. And there's a certain event that happens in Gladiator 2. Well, it takes around the time of a certain point in the Roman faction. Um, there was these two twin brothers in the movie. There was these two twin brothers that was ruling over Rome, and they ended up one ended up killing the other. And I'm not gonna tell the whole um movie, but one ended up killing the other, and then Rome eventually got overthrown by the people. I'm saying that to say this: even what we have to learn about our enemy is that they have the tendency to hide things in plain sight. And when you are equipped with the right knowledge, you'll be able to pick these things off when you see them. So the two brothers that I'm telling you about, they're called the Romulus and Remus. Um, and that's all I'm gonna give you right now, just to give you an idea. Matter of fact, I'll read this. Uh, when the last king was overthrown, his twin his let me start. According to the legend, the Greeks had laid siege to the city of Troy, near the coast of modern day Turkey, and killed almost everyone. One Trojan prince named Ananias escaped by sea and sailed to Italy. He landed at Laurentum on the west coast of Italy. He formed an alliance with Latinus. He formed an alliance with Latinus, the king of the Latins, and married his daughter Lavinia. Ananias' son, Acanius, founded a city called Alba Longa. He was the first of the long line of kings who ruled for about 400 years. When the last king was overthrown, his twin grandsons, Romulus and Remus, were left to die by the river of Tibur. A wolf found them and looked after them. The wolf breastfed them and nourished them. When the twins grew up, they decided to set up a new city on the spot where they had been left to die. They held a sacred ceremony, and Remus mocked it. So Romulus killed his brother and named the city after his own name and became its first ruler. Uh, the followers of Romulus were shepherds, hunters, farmers, and merchants who lived in small huts scattered on the seven hills on which the city of Rome was built. The Romans were initially Japhetic and Greeks. The Idumeans or Edomites that relocated from Edom called Petra today. So this is kind of giving you a backstory of how uh, Rome started. Uh, and then you go into I'll go into it a little bit deeper. And the movie Gladiator 2 kind of gives you insight on this, but if you're not aware of it, of the history of it, you probably would miss this and just be caught up in the movie, the actual movie and the storyline to it. But this is just like I said earlier, this is something that goes on in different movies. They'll sit here and put stuff in front of your face and it be actually true, but it be wrapped around a whole bunch of other stuff to make you not pay attention to it. Um, it actually wasn't until I started reading upon the history of different things pertaining to Rome that I found out that these things that they are talking about in the book are actually scenes in Gladiator 2. Um, now Esau, let's get back to the Roman Republic. Esau overthrew the Roman Republic under Julius Caesar. We all have heard that name. We've all had to study that name in school, no matter what level of from I'd say probably from middle school up, we've heard some idea of Rome or some idea of Caesar. But let's keep going. Esau overthrew the Roman Republic under Julius Caesar and the Latins, who were an Italian people who lived in the Latium region of central Italy. Julius Caesar became Rome's dictator, and the Roman Republic became the Roman Empire in 27 BC under his nephew Augustus. We read about this in history. Like I said, these are things that we learn in history in school. Julius Caesar was a renowned Roman general and a statesman who played a crucial role in the transition of Rome from a republic to an empire. Now, you remember earlier I had told y'all something about, Rome. It was two different kingdoms or factions that came out of Rome. You had the Roman Republic, consisted of the sons of Javan, and then you have the Roman Empire, which Esau would be considered the Roman Empire. Uh, Julius Caesar was a renowned Roman general and statesman who played a crucial role in the transition of Rome from a republic to an empire. After his assassination in 44 BC, his great nephew and adopted heir Octavian, later known as Augustus, became the Roman Empire, or Salaki became the Roman emperor. One thing, fun fact: when you hear them say Caesar, or it can also be pronounced as Khazar, which would be like the Khazar would be another name for the Edomites. Khazar would be one of the sons of. Help me out with this, Mike, because I'm forgetting the name. Khazar.
What name you need?
Uh,
Yeah, you might.
What name you
Khazar.
need?
But
Kazar.
Khazar.
it might went
Mhm.
out. But that name on that you're mentioning, when you read the book of Strange, Arthur speaks about those people, the Khazars.
Right,
Those
right.
people, the same people that are in the land right now, that are calling
That's right.
themselves Jews. Those are the Khazarians.
That's right.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
I appreciate that. You kind of going in and out on my end, Steph. I don't know. Is it going out on
Yeah,
your
yeah. He was going in and out.
That's right, brother. Kanaz, the Khazarian Empire. That's right. Uh, let's keep on going though. Let's see. Okay. At this time, there was a man in Jerusalem. Am I skipping over something? Let me see. Nope, I'm not. Slaki. At this time, there was a man in Jerusalem named Antipater, not a Jew by birth. Both his parents were Idumeans and were forcibly converted to Judaism. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I'm in the right spot. I'm just making sure. All right. Both his parents was Idumeans and were forcibly converted to Judaism. Judaism. Antipater was raised a Jew by religion, not ethnicity. Salaki. Thus, he would be called Jewish by today's standards. Antipater sought power and persuaded Hyrcanus, because at this time, Hyrcanus, which would be one of the descendants of the Maccabees, he was kind of in rulership at this time, because this is still in the midst of the transition of from republic to empire. Uh, but Antipater sought power and persuaded Hyrcanus to allow him an army of Nabatean Arabs to drive Aristobulus out of Jerusalem and restore Hyrcanus, his supposed friend, to power. Aristobulus, who was in control of the temple, sent Pompey a vine of pure gold as a gift. Uh, Antipater, on behalf of Hyrcanus, understanding the Romans' political situation, sought to convince Pompey that if he favored Hyrcanus, that he would eventually have control of Judea. Unexpectedly, a group of Pharisees asked Pompey to rid them of both brothers and restore Judea to its original constitution, where the high priest ruled with the advice of the elected council. Um, let's see. This is just information, just kind of giving you a background of what's going on at this time. Let's see. Let's keep going. Did I s- Now I'm gonna read from a reference from Babylon to Timbuktu. It's called A History of the Ancient Black Races, including the Black Hebrews. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military during the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius Caesar, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. And I wanted to bring this out because a lot of times we have moments where we get Gentiles mixed up with the Edomites. This here shows you that there was two different groups of people in the same land. One group of people was being ruled over by another. Uh, and that's right, brother Kanaz. Rome is Greece is America. That's exactly right. But I just wanted to bring this out because this proves that people were getting treated differently. Yes, and that is the book Babylon the Timbuktu that I just got their reference from. Um, and that I actually read from page 84 in that book. That's a good book. If you don't have that in your library, I suggest that you get it in your library. That's a very good book. Um so just to bag up what I had read earlier,
Hey,
I had
brother KG, can I pull a script? So like,
yeah,
can I
yeah,
pull a
yeah,
script, Hebrew?
yeah. Go ahead,
Shout
go ahead,
out B
bring it
Lou.
out.
What up, B Lou?
Yeah, Shalom, Hebrew. I sent B Lou the link. All praise the brother. I appreciate you showing up, man. Um, let's go to the book of Luke. Luke chapter 19. If you can pull that for me, Hebrew. 1941 through 44. And it's gonna talk about the events that you bringing out now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time period in which this is spoke about in the book of Luke in chapter 19, 41 through 44, Hebrew, if you can bring that out. You and Mike, either one.
Yeah, I
You
got you.
got
You
that,
say
Mike?
41.
All
Yeah.
right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
hear
I can
you.
hear you. Loud
All
and
right.
clear.
All right. 41 through 44.
Yes, sir.
And when he was, hold on, let me get this right. Okay, there we go. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, saying, if thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes. For the
Okay, stop
day
right
shall
there.
come. All right.
Stop right there. The city that he's talking about weeping over, this is the city of Jerusalem. This is the Holy Land that he's talking about. There's going to come a time that they're going to weep over the city. Go ahead, Hebrew.
For the day shall come upon thee, that thine enemy shall cast a trench about thee, and it compass thee round, and keep thee in every on every side, and shall lay
So,
and
so
shall all
they
right.
surrounded the city of Jerusalem. They surrounded our ancestors in that city. And in a previous lesson, we spoke about biological warfare. They was throwing those dead bodies over the walls of Jerusalem to spread disease inside of that city before they broke inside the walls. Go ahead, Hebrew.
And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall
Okay,
not
so
leave.
so when he say bring thee even with the ground, that means to be brought low. They gonna bring us down from our high estate where the Most High put us at as His chosen people. They were gonna bring us down low to the ground. When we were cast out, a lot of our people when they fled down into Egypt, we went down into Egypt. Our power was taken away from us. We were somebody in the city of Jerusalem. But when we went down into Africa, those tribes down there, those Hamites, they didn't care nothing about us. They didn't reference us as being the people of the Most High God. But go ahead, Mike.
All right. Verse 44 again. And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee. And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation.
So they gonna tear down the city of Jerusalem, and there's not gonna be a rock left one upon another. And did we not witness that? Did that not happen?
Yes,
All
sir.
of
Hebrew,
that happened. Go ahead.
you listen what he said at the end of that Luke 44, Brother Stephen. Knewest not the time of thy visitation. He
That's
told
right.
them before this even happened in this is what I was trying to explain to the people in the lesson the other day about understanding the vision. That Habakkuk and the rest of the prophecy, he gave them a vision, did it or prophecy, did it come through? They did not know that when the time of their visitation was gonna come because they weren't looking. It just came suddenly, fast. It did not tarry. But go ahead, Hebrew.
Yeah, and see, this is the prophecy of the destruction of the second temple, right?
Uh-huh.
Yahweh was prophesying and telling them, flee to the hills when this day comes. Y'all gonna have to flee the city. This is what he was talking about. And Mike, if you don't mind, let me get, KT, let me get one more precept.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go to Matthew chapter 24, Mike, and read 15 through 21.
Matthew 24:15, and it reads there. Come on, pop on up. There we go. Hold on, Hebrew. Is it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I think so. Yeah, it's up there.
Okay. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation
Uh-huh.
spoken by Daniel the prophet,
That's right.
stand in the holy place, whoso read it, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee
What
into
they
the
gotta do?
mountains.
They gotta flee into the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
They
That was
talking
North
about fleeing down into Africa.
Right.
Because
Babylon
we
to
was in
Timbuktu.
that's where the million Jews was fleeing
Jerusalem was
to.
in northeast Africa. That's the reason why they put that Suez Canal right there to separate Jerusalem, which was northeast Africa. They separated
Mm-hmm.
it from the rest of Africa. And now they call it
Mm-hmm.
the Middle East. But that's all Africa. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Well, just to add on to what you're saying, that happened in 65. So the time in which they were speaking of actually happened. The prophecy that actually the brother Steph was just talking about, it happened in 65 BC, and in 64 BC, Pompey captured Jerusalem. This was just a year later. Leaves the Maccabean high priest Hyrcanus in power and Antipater as his civil advisor. Now, I had read earlier that Antipater was he was Jewish. He wasn't an actual Jew. But see, there's this thing called the policy of expansion. Um, and this is when this is like the end of the Maccabean period where the Maccabees had won. They had won the war in which they was fighting against the Greeks. And basically it reads, he soon conquered Edom, one of the great trade routes between Egypt and Asia. To assure their loyalty, Hyrcanus compelled the Idumeans, Greek word for Edomites, to adopt the laws and customs of the Israelites or be forced out of their homelands. They agreed and became Jewish. The Jewish people of today are their descendants. So that's how that's and I'm speaking on this because all of this is all this connects because as you read Antipater was a descendant of those people that the Maccabees had ended up ruling over. That's right, brother Lewis. All the Herodians was Edomites. That's exactly right, and we gonna get into that. We definitely
And
gonna get
see,
into that.
that time of that Maccabees and that BC, what Brother KG is speaking about, that was all leading up to the Romans coming into power.
That's right.
And then in 70 AD, this prophecy was fulfilled,
Even
leading up to.
spoken by Daniel the prophet.
That's right.
Daniel even spoke about it.
That's right. Even in the Old Testament, even before the Maccabees.
And we gotta let I gotta let this stuff be known because this is something in the New Testament that always get misconstrued for people who don't understand what's really going on. And you have to understand who these people are. So when you get to the point where they're really in power, or they're playing a bigger role than what they first started, you understand why. Now I'm gonna read from another not a precept, but reference. This is called Dr.
Can I
William
finish that
Smith's.
script? Can I finish that script right
uh
quick before you move on?
yeah, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, okay. Hey, finish that out, bro, Mikael.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Woe
So
unto them
basically,
that are
what
with.
this is saying,
Mhm.
you're not gonna have time to do any of this stuff. Like when this happens, it's gonna happen fast.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna have time to be going and gathering all of these things. And when they come upon us in this country, we're not gonna have time to be trying to gather all this stuff and do all this. When it's time
Ca-
to flee,
ca-
it's gonna be time to flee.
But see, people when they read this, they think it happened during this time. But the abomination of desolation happened during the time of Maccabees when they went in
Mm-hmm.
there and desecrated the temple. During
Mm-hmm.
Christ's time, we reading about it now by 70 AD. Now,
Mm-hmm.
That's
what's
right.
our abomination and desolation gonna look like? Who's that's gonna be? The one who gonna show up and say he God.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And when you see that rascal show his face in that temple, when they re-erected it, you better go find you somewhere to hide, cause he coming with the sword.
That's right.
Yep, that's right.
Did you finish
Cause
though,
he's
Mike?
yeah, I finished that. Oh
Okay,
no, I
okay.
said no, I didn't finish. It says what you want me to stop at, Hebrew? Cause I'm at
You can
19.
stop right there. You can stop right there so he can pick his
Okay,
lesson back up.
all right, yeah, pick
That
it
was
back
all
up,
I need.
KG.
Go ahead.
All right,
No, y'all good. Y'all and see what y'all giving the biblical references, and I'm giving the background story, so it all tie together. I need that. I appreciate that as well. But I'm gonna read from this other reference. It's Dr. William Smith's Dictionary of the Bible, compromising its antiquities, biography, geography, and natural history, volume 3. This was published in 1890, and I'm reading from page 2205, and it reads under Obadiah, uh Acmanindus Becni and Arbanel says that Janus, the first king of Latium, was grandson of Esau, Kamichi. And you can this is referenced in Joel chapter 3 verse 19, says that Julius
Let's
Caesar
pull
was
that.
an I
Let's
say
pull
say that
that.
again. Yeah,
Let's pull that, Joel.
Joel chapter 3 verse 19. Now
All right.
this is a once again, y'all, this is a reference that goes back to the Bible to prove what he is trying to say um in this particular part of the book that he is writing in.
All right. Joel 3 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
It reads, Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. For the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land.
Mm-hmm. See, and then as it goes on, it says well, it says Joel chapter 3, verse 19 says that Julius Caesar was an Idumean. Scaliger, I can't read that. There's words I don't understand, y'all. But moving forward, the Jews, both those who are comparatively ancient and those who are modern, believe that Titus was an Edomite. And when the prophets denounce Edom, they frequently refer it to Titus. I have several times shown that from Edom proceeded the kings who reigned in Italy and who built up Rome to be great among the nations and chief among the provinces. And in this way, Italy and Greece and all the western provinces became filled with Idumeans. Thus, it is that the prophets call the whole of that nation by the name of Edom. So, which that was with this reference is basically confirming that it was Idumeans in control at this particular time.
Hey,
Uh,
Salaki. Hey,
Go
bro,
ahead.
Mikael, can you look up the word Herodians for Big Luke? Look up that word Herodians. pull that definition up? All
He got it
praise.
on the screen.
Yeah, it's on the
Hmm.
screen.
Read that, Hebrew.
Okay. It says a member of a political party. I'm sorry. A member of a political party of biblical times consisting of Jews who were apparently partisans of the Herodian house and together with the Pharisees opposed Jesus.
All praise. I just wanted to give that brother definition right there, KG. My bad. Go ahead.
No, no, no. You good. You good. You good. Cause like I said, this it's building us up. It's building us up for where we need to go. But let me give some more background. Julius Caesar, and then keep remember the name Antipater is gonna pop up a lot. But Julius Caesar made Antipater a procurator of Judea. His son Herod becomes governor of Galilee. Read Luke chapter 3, verse 1.
Oh, okay, my bad, KG. That's what you want me to get?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Luke chapter 3, verse 1. Because I
Okay.
mean, it's basically this is the introduction to Herod and
I got
Antipater.
you.
Well,
All right. Luke 3, verse 1. Now, in the 5th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilate being
15th.
governor of Judea.
15th.
Oh, 15.
15th.
Oh, my bad, Hebrew. And as the people, you say Luke 15 or Luke 3:15?
nah, Luke 3
Luke
and
3 and 1.
mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I was reading.
Yeah, but you said the fifth year. It say the 15th year.
Oh, you threw me out here. I thought you talking about scripture. I'm sorry. Yo, okay, good looking out, Step. My bad. You messed me up,
Okay.
boy.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Now, the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilate being governor of Judea, and Herod being tetrarch of Galilee, and his brother Philip tetrarch of Iteria, and the region of Tractantis. And oh Lord, here we go with these names. Lycians, Lyci, I don't know, y'all. The Tetrarch of Abilene, Annas and Cyprus being the high priest. The
It's
word of God came into
Licinius. Licinius.
Licinius. Well, you know, you from them time. You probably I do me. Licinius and what else, Hebrew?
That that other word. That other word that you which one? It was you was at verse 2, wasn't you?
Yeah, I'm in verse 2 now. That's Capius.
It's
That's Anna.
triconitis.
Oh,
Triconitis.
track. Okay, what? Okay, whatever. Well, read it then, man. You good with these names?
All right. It says, now in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilate being governor of Judea, and Herod being tetrarch of Galilee, and his brother Philip tetrarch of Iteria, and of the region of Trichonis, and Lacinias, the tetrarch of Abilene, Annas and Caiaphas being the high priest, the word of God came unto John, the son of Zechariah, in the wilderness. And he came into all the country about Jordan, preaching the baptism of repentance for the remission of sins.
Our praise, our praise. So as you can see, these people was coming into power as the Roman Empire took over things. They was, and the reason why they did this was because, as we know, the Roman Empire was full of Edomites, and Antipater and the people that was around Antipater, they were basically Edomites as well. So instead of enslaving them, they put them in power because they were of the same race. And they basically used everybody else that was in power around them as puppets. And just to add to my point that I'm mentioning now, Julius Caesar made Antipater. I read that 45 BC. Caesar defeats Pompey's son Sextus in Africa and crushes a mutiny in the 10th Legion. He becomes virtual dictator of Rome. Caesar introduces the Julian calendar, which is the calendar we go by till this day, and adopts his nephew Octavian as his heir. Uh, Antipater and Rome from this time on worked together. Both were greedy for power. Rome supported Antipater, and he in turn fulfilled all of Rome's demands. Hyrcanus II, ruler and high priest from 63 to 40 BC, was just a puppet in their hands. Actually, Antipater ruled, and two of his sons, which we just read about, was Phasael and Herod, the Great, were local governors. Phasael was governor over Jerusalem, and Herod was governor over Galilee.
Hey, Salakia, KG.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just want to bring out the fact that we just got through reading a couple of few lessons ago in the book of Ecclesiastes about there's nothing new up under the sun, right?
Right.
The way that those people operated then, it's the same way that the government operate in the United States right now.
That's right.
They have
Because that.
assassinated presidents.
Mm-hmm.
You've had attempted assassinations. You got puppets, people that'll use certain people to put them in power so that they can rule. They don't really have any power, but they put them there.
Right. They put
It's
them
the
there so
same
that.
playbook.
That's exactly right.
Same playbook ain't it, Hebrew.
Same
These
playbook.
people that KG is bringing out to, if you understand how they move through history, you can pretty much understand. You will understand more clearly what's going on right now before your face.
Mm-hmm.
These people have no originality. They have no imagination. They do everything according to how they did it of ancient times that we're reading about. Nothing new is under the sun. Go ahead, Hebrew.
But why we can't do that? Why we can't
That-
operate the way our people operated in ancient times?
That's a
because our
good
people,
question.
but hey, you think Hellenization is something? The Americanized Negro is a Hellenized Negro on drugs, man. You
Hey,
dealing with
Yeah.
a
hey, Hellenized
Americanized
on steroids, man.
boy. That's
No.
Hellenized Jew on steroids, boy.
Hey,
Americanized Jew,
100 times worse.
boy.
100 times worse.
The Negro is a phenomenon. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Man, the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the people wanted to drive out all the Idumeans, including the Romans and the converted Jewish leaders. Rome broke up the country's unity by dividing it into five administrative districts, which is where divide and conquer originated from. Many patriot Jews, such as the Zealots, which we know one of the disciples was a zealot, hid in the mountains of Judea and Galilee to make surprise attacks on the Romans. The Romans looked upon them as murderers and hunted them mercilessly as beasts of prey. Rome and the Idumeans were obviously not popular with the Jews. So if they were not popular with the Jews, then that lets you know that what am I looking for? John 3:16 is not talking about everybody. Would y'all disagree with that?
What, for God so loved the world, Hebrew? That's not
Yep.
talking about everybody. That's talking about
It,
for the. We done went over that. Wait, this was talking about the house
hey,
of Israel.
right, and
Hey,
but see, I'm saying it because it just said the book just said this book just told you that the Romans and the Rome and the Idumeans were obviously not popular with the Jews, so they did not get along.
That's
hey,
right.
Hebrew. It said that they were
Hmm.
hunting. It said they was hunting, right?
Yeah,
Uh, pull Genesis chapter 25, Mike, and verse 27. Genesis 25 and 27. That's his nature, KG.
that's exactly right.
That's Esau nature. And the Most High said that that was his nature. Get
Hmm.
Genesis 25 and 27. Read that, Hebrew.
All right, Hebrew. Here it come. I'm froze up. Okay, Genesis 25 and 27 reads, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
So there you go, right there, KG.
Hmm. That's
He
exactly
was in
right.
his nature. And he still, do they not hunt us today? Man, these police officers, hunt our people like animals. It's like they got their camouflage with their rifle and they sitting in a deer stand. They sit in their police cars with their sidearms and their AR-15s and they wait on our children to ride by and they pull them over and they hunt them down like dogs.
They showed you in that movie, with Ice T in there. It's a movie long ago. It was long back in the 90s. They took Ice T out there in the woods and they were hunting.
I remember that movie. I
They,
remember that
he,
movie. I don't remember the
they,
name of
he
it, but
was
I
homeless.
remember that.
Yeah,
They
Hmm
surviving
surviving
the
the game,
game. Surviving the
su-
game.
su- surviving the game. So I'm saying this, like they'll go get homeless people off the road, like look like me and you, and take them out there in the middle of nowhere and hunt them.
hmm
You don't think that ain't when they put that movie out back in the 90s? That they do that for real. I'm telling y'all, these people is crazy. When the Most High
Yeah,
said, "I'm gonna put Judah with the worst of the heathen," he wasn't lying. This the worst of the heathen.
He
they
said, I'm
actually
gonna, I'm gonna put you up under people that's not a people.
that stuff that
These
you
are not
talking
people.
about.
These animals.
That stuff that you talking about, brother Mikael. That's actually called rich men sports. That's what
Right.
that's what it's called. Like that type of stuff that they do. They have private parties and this is the type of stuff that go on along with all the other crazy stuff that could go on. But this is just something in that category. They call it rich man sport. Uh,
All praise. Thank,
what?
appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Uh, let's keep going though. 43 BC. We start getting into the nephew of Julius Caesar, which is Gaius Octavius, was named in Julius Caesar will as his adopted son and heir. As a result, he inherited Caesar's name, estate, and the loyalty of the military legions. So after Julius Caesar was assassinated, which Julius Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC by Brutus and Cassius. We know this because of, we studied that in school. But in 43 BC, his adopted son, which would later which is named Octavius, he would become in power after him. Herod the Great appointed king of Judea. Herod the Great was appointed king of Judea from 40 BC till 4 BC. Now, you got to also understand that this is the same Herod the Great that was in power up until almost around the time where Jesus was finna be born as well. Because we all know what BC stand for. But now we getting into
He
now
was
we're
the
finna
same
get
Herod that was trying to kill Yahweh.
exactly, exactly, exactly. Um Now we're gonna get into some deeper stuff though, like the deeper meanings of some of the things that go on, and some of us know it, some of us don't. But for everyone that do know it, hey, add your input as we go. And for those that don't, man, make sure you have your pen and paper out on this. Brothers, brother, Mikael still here? Are you gone? Okay, he's still
No,
here. I
he's
see him.
still in here.
I see
Sh-
him. I
He's
see
still
him.
here.
shalom, Hebrew.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom.
Shalom,
Shalom.
Hebrew. Shalom. Yeah, I'm
Hey,
here, KG.
I
my
see you.
apologies for being tardy, Hebrew. My bad.
Nah, you
That's a
good,
$50
man.
fine. He ain't all good. That's a $50 fine. Go ahead, KG.
Hey, hey, Steph, get second Esdras 11-1. And matter of fact, now change that. Get Daniel 7-7. And Mikael get second Esdras 11-1.
You
And
said
why
Daniel
y'all get
77.
Okay.
yeah, Daniel 7-7, and Mikael, you get second Esdras 11-1. And brother Steph, you can get Esdras second Esdras 12 verses 11 through 12 if you still able to. I'm why
Let
y'all get
See,
that.
Cortez get that apocrypha. I'm already at Daniel.
I'm
Okay,
at,
okay,
I
okay,
got the apocrypha on the screen. I read the apocrypha.
okay, good,
I
okay.
got it on the screen.
Well, let me
Hey,
get
check this out.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead, bro. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
These dates, I'm just gonna read to these dates. In 37 BC, Herod the Great captures Jerusalem. Triumvirate is renewed for 5 years. Mark Antony, already married to Octavia, the sister of Octavian, which was the Caesar at that time, also marries Queen Cleopatra of Egypt. Octavian's fleet defeats that of Pompey's son Sextus. This is 36 BC. And then 32 BC, Octavian declares war on Antony and Cleopatra. Uh, Let me skip down. In 27 BC, Rome, Octavian given supreme power by the Roman Senate, thus effectively ending the Roman Republic. So in 27 BC, the Roman Republic was no more. It was officially only the Roman Empire. So it's no more sons of Japhan in play anymore. It's all Idumeans and Edomites. All right, he takes the title Augustus. So Octavian changed his name to Augustus and becomes the first emperor of the Roman Empire and ruled until 14 AD. He had a 40-year reign. Uh, Brother Steph, get that Daniel 7 and 7 for me.
All right, Daniel chapter 7 and verse 7, and it reads, After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
So this is the beginning of this prophecy that was in Daniel 7 and 7. This is the beginning of what this prophecy was talking about. It started in 27 BC. Where actually it started when Julius Caesar came into play, it started then. It started adding to it then. Now who got second Ezra 11 and 1 for me?
Oh, I got it.
All right, read second Ezra 11 and 1.
Then saw I a dream or a vision, and beheld, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads.
Okay, these three heads will be later be known as Great Britain, Rome, the United States of America. Now let's go to second Esdras. Let's go to second Esdras 12 and second Esdras chapter 12 verse and read 11 through 12. Matter of fact, read 11 through 15.
Can you hear me, Hebrew?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, second Edges 12. Okay, next chapter over. 11
Hmm.
through 15, right?
That's right.
All right, here we go, family. Now we went over this last Thursday. See how the spirit of the Most High work. I just
Mhm.
say you did. I didn't know you were doing that. It just come out that way. But anyway, the
Exactly.
eagle, the eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea, is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel, which we read last week. But it
Hmm.
was not expounded unto him. Therefore now I declare it unto thee. Behold, the days come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon earth, and it shall be feared above all kingdoms that were before it. In the same, in the same shall 12 kings reign, one after another. Wherefore
Hmm.
the second shall begin to reign, and shall have more time than any of the 12. And
All right,
this
that was
do the 12. Okay, go ahead.
all right, now okay, yeah, that's all I wanted because I just told you. Now let's go back to 27 BC, what I was reading in the timeline. Rome, Octavian given supreme power by the Roman Senate, thus effectively ending the Roman Republic. He takes the title Augustus and becomes the first emperor of the Roman Empire and ruled until 14 AD. He had a 40-year reign. Okay, so this prophecy is talking about Rome, which a lot of us probably already knew that, but for those that didn't, this prophecy is talking about the rulership of Rome. Um, the 12 feathers are the 12 Caesars that which we were just read about in Second Ezra 11 and 12. The first was Julius Caesar. The next would be Octavian, who changed his name to Augustus. He had the longest reign, like the prophecy said. He reigned for 40 years. He reigned the longest out of all the 12 feathers. He reigned the longest. The third one was Tiberius. The fourth would be Caligula. The fifth was Claudius. The sixth was Nero. The seventh was Galba. The eighth was Otho.
Hey,
The ninth,
Salakia Hebrew.
go
Nero,
ahead.
Nero was a lunatic.
Yes, he was.
Now all of them crazy. All of them were crazy. But Nero was a psychopathic lunatic.
Nah, you ain't told one lie, sir, because he was the one that actually was going around and killing the disciples. He was the one that was going around like he was the one taking out people. He was the one that was publicly executing the disciples. And a lot of people
Yeah, he
Yeah,
thought,
was.
yeah,
go
you
ahead.
right. But see, here's the thing. I'm glad we
He,
going through
he
this
was a
history.
schizo. He was a paranoid schizophrenic too.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm glad we're going through this history because if when you read the Bible, now you see what the major prophets and the minor prophets was prophesying about of this time we living in right now. Even Revelations talking about the time we living in right now. Because
Mm-hmm.
we at the tail end of this kingdom.
That's right.
So everything we reading about family is spot on. But go ahead, KG.
Um, Number seven was Galba. Number eight was Otho. Number nine was Vitellius, and number 10 was Vespasian. Vespasian was the ruler around 70 AD. Or let me be let me be accurate when I say that. Let me be accurate when I say that. Yep, it was Vespasian. Um, which he nah, it's not AD. It was 65 BC. No, Salaki, it's 70 AD. Salaki, it is 70 AD. But Vespasian was the Caesar that burned down Jerusalem. Like when Brother Stephen was saying that the prophecy that said that we would all have to flee to the mountains, he was in rulership when this happened. Vespasian was in rulership that when this happened. Then you had at number 11, you had Titus, and then at number 12, you had Domitian. Those are the 12 Caesars who ruled during the Julio, Claudian, and Flavian dynasties in the Roman Empire. In 20 BC, you have Herod the Great begins to modernize the Jerusalem temple. Now you got to understand that Herod was given power, like I said earlier, because he was basically in cahoots with the Romans because they were of the same nationality. And in 1 AD, uh, and 1 AD is the birth of Christ. In 2 AD, Herod commands all the Israelite boys in Jerusalem from 2 years old and under to be put to death. It's called Massacre of the Innocents. This is what this was called. And Brother Steph just brought this out that this was the same Herod that was in rulership from up until 4 BC. But this is the same Herod, as you can see. Matter of fact, somebody grab me Matthew chapter 2, verses 7 through 16. Matthew chapter 2, verses 7 through 16. And like Brother Mikael said, this history is important because when you know these things and you go back and read the New Testament, it all this ought to start clicking for you. All of it, like, okay, so I know what this person is, why he was doing this. I know what he basically what he looked like, what he was doing, why he was doing it, etc. But
I
that
got you,
script was
Hebrew.
Matthew chapter 2, verse 7 through 16.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Matthew chapter 2, verse 7, and it reads, Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Mm.
And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night, and departed into Egypt, and was there unto the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently acquired of the wise men. Keep going, Hebrew.
Nah, nah, that's it. I appreciate that too. But
Okay.
but as you see right here, Herod knew what was going on. Herod was in power, but he was Jewish. He was not a actual Jew. So he was afraid that this is supposed to be the savior that's coming. He knew who Jesus was. He knew what Jesus' assignment was because he had been studying about him. He had been studying the traditions of our heritage all this time up until this point. That's why he was able to that's why he put out the command to kill him, because he wanted to keep ruling. Go ahead, brothers. I feel like y'all got something y'all want to say.
Hey,
Salakia.
hey,
Yes,
hey,
sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah,
I
yes,
got
sir.
some.
Go ahead, Step. Go
Let
ahead,
me
Hebrew.
let me bring this out, bro,
Cook it.
Mikael.
Cook, brother. Cook it.
Um, I got a source that I want to bring out. This is not scripture, but it's a source. It comes from the lost books, and it's called the letter of Herod to Pilate the governor. And
Mm,
it reads, Herod to Pontius Pilate the governor of Jerusalem. Peace. I am in great anxiety. I write these things unto thee, that when thou hast heard them, thou mayest be grieved for me. For as my daughter Herodias, who is dear to me, was playing upon a pool of water which had ice upon it, it broke under her, and all her body went down, and her head was cut off, and remained at the surface of the ice. And behold, her mother is holding her head upon her knees in her lap. And my whole house is in great sorrow. For I, when I heard of that man Jesus, wished to come to thee, that I might see him alone and hear his word, whether it was like that of the sons of men. And it is certain that because of the many evil things which were done by me to John the Baptist, and because I mocked Christ, behold, I received the reward of, 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 of righteousness. For I have shed much blood of the other children upon the earth, and it is scarcely necessary to say that it was not the Herod of the epistle who caused the massacre of the children at Bethlehem. Therefore, the judgment of God are righteous, for every man receives according to his thought. But since thou was worthy to see that God man, therefore it becometh you to pray for me. My son Asbanias also is in agony of death in this hour. And I
Mm-hmm.
too am in affliction. in great trial because I have the dropsy, and I am in great distress because I persecuted the introducer of baptism by water, which was John. Therefore, my brother, the judgment of God, the judgments of God are righteous. And my wife, again, through all her grief for her daughter, is become blind in her left eye, because we desired to blind the eye of righteousness. There is no peace to the doers of evil, saith the Lord. For already great affliction cometh upon the priests and upon the writers of the law, because they delivered unto thee the just one. The reason why I wanted to bring this out, Hebrew, is because you reading about Herod, right?
That's right.
This is a letter from Herod written to Pontius Pilate. Now, this is not the Bible that I'm reading from, but it is a source. It's a book. But what um, Herod is expressing is because of the deeds and the killings and the affliction upon the people of God, John the Baptist and Christ, all of these things happened to him. His daughter wife was head was chopped off
Mm,
by
mm, mm, mm.
a lake. She was on a lake that was it was cold and it was froze. She fell through the water and it cut her head off. His
Mm,
wife
mm,
went
mm, mm.
blind. He had the dropsy, and his son was almost dead. So just to back up what you bringing out, Hebrew, I had to read that. Man, all praise to the Most High. Go ahead, Brew.
What you wanted to bring out, Mike?
Uh, Quartet, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. KG, give me Psalms 137 right quick. So I reason I want this. I want to show what goes around comes around. This man, Herod, slew all those innocent Israelite children in the womb and out, the ones that were born, even the ones that were still in the womb. He murdered these children. Innocent blood cries out to the Most High. So when you read scripts like this, and when a Christian brother and sister come in your face talking about God loves everybody, you need to be pulling up scriptures like this, because God, they gonna see when we read scripture, He gonna pay back the fathers and to the third and fourth generation. Well, what generation you think we in right now? Where He's finna pay that back? They gotta pay that back. What they did, even to now, when they did us like they're doing this captivity, they gotta pay that back when they slay our innocent children. Y'all understand? I'm just trying to get y'all to understand the judgment of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
I'm with you. What you
All right.
said you wanted Psalms 137?
Yes, Psalms 137, 7 through 9, Hebrew.
Okay, okay.
Cause
Isaiah.
hey, hold on, Hebrew, hold on, Cortez. So we reading about Edom, right?
That's right.
About Rome, which is Edom, which is the fourth beast, the eagle, right? Now listen to what the Most High gonna do to him in the last day. Go ahead.
All right. Isaiah, can I start at 20 Hebrew?
Go ahead.
All right, Isaiah 14 and 20. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
That's right. That's good. Now get that Psalms 137, 7 through 9, Hebrew.
All right. Psalms chapter 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O
Start right there.
daughter,
That's start right there. That's 70 AD.
that's right.
That's 70 AD when they did that. When they took down Jerusalem. Now go ahead.
O
Hey,
daughter of Babylon.
hold on. So they destroyed Jerusalem, Edom, Rome, and Herod slew those innocent children. Keep that in mind, cause KG finna bring it out. Go ahead.
O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us.
Stop right
Happy,
there.
okay.
Stop right there. So Edom is the daughter of Babylon, brothers and sisters. This Babylon we living in right now, it's a worldwide captivity. Edom runs the whole earth. Job 9:24, earth given over to the hand of the wicked. Now, Rome today is the religious part of the eagle. Europe is the financial backbone of England, is the financial backbone of this Babylonian beast, this eagle. And America is the military might of this eagle. All of
Mm-hmm.
them work hand in hand. They scratching each other back. Now you got an American Pope now, so you know it's going to get down and dirty now, KG. Go ahead,
Right.
KG, verse 9.
Just before I read verse 9, that what you just brought out about the Salaki, the religious and the financial and the military, that goes back to the three heads as well. But verse 9 reads, Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
So the Most High gonna pay it back to them. The way they did our children of old, and to how they doing our children today, and even us in general. The Most High said, I'm gonna dash their little ones into pieces. I'm gonna dash them up against the stone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm through. I'm through. I'm sorry I had to bring that out, Hebrew. That we
Nah,
just couldn't
nah.
leave that unturned, Hebrew.
Nah, that's good, man. Hey, like I said, it's like it brings it all together. It brings it all together because for the longest, our people have thought we the Gentiles. They have thought that we were the heathen, and when we don't follow the commandments, we are considered heathen or like the heathen. But at the same time, this shows that there's a difference between the people in the New Testament and well, yeah, in the New Testament and the timeline that we going through. This shows you that a certain people was in power and getting treated a certain way, where there was another race of people being condemned, being enslaved, and being killed for who they were. So once again, you can't tie these. You can't sit here and say that the Gentiles or everybody that's Gentiles was gonna make it, or the like going back to my reference of John 3:16, you can't say that. You can't say that because if that's the case, then when none of this ever went be going on like it was going on. But let's keep on going. I got in 4 AD, the death of Herod the Great, his kingdom is split between his three sons and sister. And I'm gonna read this. It's just a little reference is from the last of the it's from the last of the Hasmoneans, and it reads, the feeling of the Jews at this time were expressed in a collection of poems written about this time called Psalms of Solomon. Their author was undoubtedly a Pharisee whose chief interest lay not in war and power, but in piety and right conduct. He justified the misfortunes which befell the Hasmoneans, for they had sinned and deserved punishment. Nevertheless, he could not help speaking with great bitterness of Pompey and the Romans. They had been invited as friends. The gates of the city were open to them, but they desecrated the temple and enslaved the people. No wonder that when the author heard of Pompey's end, he exclaimed, Praise be the Lord who judges the whole earth with his justice. Moreover, the author feared lest the pagan neighbors in league with the Romans make life unbearable for the Jews. He prayed, Punish us in accordance with thy will, but deliver us not into the hands of the Gentiles. Let's keep on going.
Uh, Let me share this right quick too. And
Go
so
ahead.
when you read these prophecies of the Most High, yes, it happened. Some of the the prophecy did happen back then, brothers and sisters. But you got to understand this about the prophecy of the Most High. It's like a ring, okay? His prophecies are like a ring. It keeps going in circles. It's just it'll happen in every generation. Some part of that prophecy will be fulfilled. I just wanted to show them because what you reading is it's gonna happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share this right here. Let me. Oh man, can you hear me, KG?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cause my headset just went. I got to put it on charge. It said second edge is 542, and he said unto me, I would liken my judgment unto a ring, like as there is no slackness of the last, Even so, there is no swiftness of the first. So his judgments, his prophecy is like a ring, brothers and sisters. All right. I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to show y'all that. So what you read now, it's gonna happen again, but it's gonna happen in a more of our time. You just gotta understand. You just gotta know what you're looking at when you see it. All right, Hebrew, let's go.
All right. I'm
That's right.
trying.
Notorious Hebrew in cycles. In cycles. That's what I. Yeah. That's the word I need. Cycles. It happened in cycles.
I'm gonna give a little bit more backstory on Harad, and it's a certain part. Okay, yeah, I'm right here where I need to be. All right, y'all. So just once again, I need you to keep in mind that um Herod was Jewish, but he was still around a bunch of Jews. And I'm finna bring this point out to prove what I'm saying. All right, for 40 years, Jewish history was dominated by Herod the Great, who is Jewish. He was an Edomite. He was born about 73 BC, the son of the Idumean Antipater. There go Antipater again, and became a Roman citizen in 47 BC. His father appointed him a military governor of Galilee with the task of clearing the region of zealots. In 41 BC, Antony made Herod and his brothers tetrarchs, but Herod was not secure and in 40 BC fled to Rome. There, Antony bestowed on him the kingship of Judea, which that's when you read, give me Luke 1 and 5. Give me Luke 1 and 5. Luke 1 and 5 basically covers everything that I just spoke on, which he secured with a Roman army in 37 BC. Octavian, the future Emperor Augustus, defeated Antony and Cleopatra at the naval battle of Actium in 31 BC, but confirmed Herod in power. Read that
Let me
Luke
know when
1 and
you ready.
5.
You
Go
ready?
ahead.
There was in the days of Herod the king of Judea a certain
Mm-hmm.
priest named Zacharias of the course of A- Abia, and his wife was of the daughter of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth.
Okay. Now, as you let me just read it. I'm just read it so it can explain itself. Um, he looked for Harad. All right, Harad's family life, however, was unhappy. He ruled as an autocrat, supported by military police, and despite his rebuilding of the temple to the Jews, he remained a detested foreigner. So the Jews, which was our people, did not like him because they knew he was an Edomite. He died in 4 BC at the age of 69. The marriage to Miriam the first, which Herod knew he was hated by the Jews, and having craftily removed the Hasmonean family for authority, he felt in fear for his life. For political reasons, he therefore married Miriam the first, the daughter of Alexandra, the Maccabee daughter of John Hyrcanus the second. So he married into the Maccabean family, the which Maccabee daughter of John Hyrcanus II, the true heir to the throne. This explains why Jewish people today teach ancestry is based on the mother, because the Miriam was Jew. Well, she was a Jew by blood, and he married her because he feared for his life, because he knew that the Jews at that time did not like him and probably were, plotting to kill him. And like it just said, this is why Jewish people today have based ancestry off the mother, but we all know that it's from the father's seed. All right, Merriman was one of several wives Herod married. Um, This is how Herod made himself safe and secure from the Jews. One of Herod's first acts was the execution of 40 prominent Sadducees for two reasons: enemies and money. He constantly had to pay off the Romans and anyone else who had helped him. He hired Jews from other lands as his armies. Herod did not trust Jews from his own land. He was jealous of other members of his family. Aristobulus, Herod's own brother-in-law, was found drowned in a pool of one of the royal palaces. Hyrcanus, returned from Parthia at Herod's invitation, was accused of plotting treason and executed. Herod then had Miriam the first murdered, and then her two sons, which favored her in appearance and color on suspicion that they were plotting against him.
And you,
So
hey, Salakia,
go
that
ahead.
was the wife that you just named, Hebrew. He killed his
Exactly.
wife and his sons. Those were his
Exactly.
sons that he killed.
He took out the original bloodline and made himself the bloodline. Like he took out the people that could get in his way of rulership, so couldn't nobody stop him from doing the things that he would
Don't,
eventually do.
don't that sound like the heathen today? Same thing. They do the same thing. They call it snapped on TV. They'll kill the wife and the children for the insurance money. They snapped for power. You know what I'm saying? To get that money. That same thing they do. They jealous and they'll kill each other for that money for
Don't
power.
leave. Don't
Go
leave
ahead
out the dog. Don't leave out the dog.
and will strangle the dog and boo boo on it. Sure will. Hey,
Man.
hey.
Okay. Hey,
Hey, he had to add that. Did you have to add that?
right.
Well, hey, ain't no defiled person more profane person than Esau.
Hey,
Shit.
and another thing too that this Edomite did, he exhausted the wealth of the land building all of these extravagant buildings, and he also tried to resurrect the second temple and name it Herod's temple.
hmm
The dude
Which
was
that's
sick, man.
Yeah, he was. That's actually why they call him Herod the Great, because of all the great architecture he set up. Salaki. All right,
That's right.
so Herod the Edomite eliminated all that remained of the black Maccabean family.
What?
Let me say it again. Herod
Please.
the Edomite eliminated all that remained of the black Maccabean family. Now keep in
No, he
mind, we know who the Maccabees are. We know what they did. We know why we celebrate the Feast of Dedication, and the Maccabees are our people. So if Herod was actually a Jew by blood, why would he have to do that? He wouldn't have to do that because he would be of the bloodline, but he was not be of the bloodline because John Hyrcanus, a descendant of the Maccabees, enslaved Antipater and his people, and Antipater was played his role and got the position that he got by being in cahoots with Rome, which will later allow Herod to do the things in which we just read about. So
Hmm.
once again, this
And they
shit, this go ahead.
they saying that he wiped out all the Maccabees, but the Most High wasn't going to allow him to wipe out all the Maccabees.
Right,
He
you
probably
right.
tried to.
yeah, he probably tried to, but he didn't. Because the scripture says there's no end of no people. So he didn't wipe them out. It's something that got away.
That's right. You're right about that. But you know, I just want to bring stuff. You got to bring stuff out like this because I'm pretty sure there was some of us that thought, oh, this a black king killing black people. Uh-uh. Nope. Nope. That is not what is going on here, brothers and sisters. This was an Edomite wiping out. This was an Edomite covering his tracks so he could keep things the way that he wanted them.
And,
Doesn't that
and, and,
sound familiar?
and they did the same thing in Egypt.
Exactly.
Whenever the Pharaoh turned on the Israelites, that was an Edomite Pharaoh.
Hmm.
He was making it great again.
That's right.
See
Making
that's
Egypt
why.
great again.
See, people, our own, some of our own people, they hate Farrakhan when he bring out the how devilish this devil can, how busy this devil can get down, and murdering you, killing you, stealing from you, and all that. We going right down through history, even from the days of Christ Himself, showing
That's
you
right.
what these people have been doing in the earth since day one.
Not to, and
But
just to add on to what you saying, Mikael, I just want people to notice that I haven't even got to the part about Jesus Christ yet. Just keep
okay,
that
What
in mind.
Farrakhan what Farrakhan say? I think you should keep quiet.
well, well, I wish I could play
Man,
that right now.
Me and Mike were talking about that the other day. I
It is
think
the
you should be
most corrupt
quiet.
nation that I have ever covered. I've been there 25 years ago, and I've been there as recently as last year. Fine. So what? 35 years old. That's what that nation is. Now here's America, 226 years old. You love democracy, but there in Africa, you're trying to force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted. 30 years ago, black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet, because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak because I don't have that blood on my hand. Yes, there's corruption there. Yes, there's mismanagement of resources. Yes, there is abuse. There's abuse in every nation on earth, including this one. So let's not play holy to moralize on them. Let's help them. I'm not moralizing. I'm asking a question, and I got an answer. Why would you put it as the most corrupt regime in the world? That doesn't make sense. Can you think of one more corrupt? Yeah, I'm living in one. I'm living in one.
All praise. Say huh.
Sorry about that, KG. That had to hit. Cause man, that dude is crazy, man. Where bro go? Oh, there you go. Oh man.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. Where we stop at? Okay. On the next. All right. Herod had not the slightest intention of letting the Jews rule themselves. He deprived the Sanhedrin of every vestige of political power. Neither the Pharisees nor the Sadducees any longer exercised political influence, only their names continued for the purpose of describing two groups which differed on religious matters. Herod knew better than to force Hellenization upon his black Judean subjects, gradually introducing them to those Greek habits of life which he himself admired. Jerusalem also benefited from his building activity. He erected a theater and a hippodrome within the city. Foreign visitors to his capital would feel more at home and would not look down upon him as an insignificant king of a barbarian people. Let's jump around. Let's get back on this timeline. Um, In 4 BC, Herod the Great dies. His kingdom is split between his three sons and his sister. Herod Archelaus, Ethanarch of Judea, Samaria, and Idumea. Herod Antipas, Tetrarch of Galilee and Perea. Herod Philip, Tetrarch of Batanea, Trachonitis, and Aaronitis. Salome the First, top arc of Laminia, Azotus, and Phasaelus. In 14 AD, Augustus dies and is succeeded by Tiberius Caesar. Somebody get me Luke 3 and 1. Luke chapter 3, verse 1.
Luke 3 and 1, and it reads, now in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilate being governor of Judea, and Herod being tetrarch of Galilee, and his brother Philip tetrarch of, how you say that? Uh, Etu- Eturia, something like that, and the region of I can't say that, and Lysanias, the tetrarch of Abilene. I butchered those words, but I
Nah,
tried.
you fine. I understand. Go ahead.
All right, verse 2. Um, Anna, Ananias, and Cephas being the high priest, the word of God came unto John, the son of Zacharias, in the wilderness. He came into all the country about Jordan, preaching the baptism of repentance of the remission of sin.
Okay, okay. That's
All right.
good right there. All right, so in 26 AD, Pontius Pilate is procurator. He is procurator from 26 AD to 36 AD. In 30 AD, Jesus is baptized by John the Baptist. John is later imprisoned by Herod Antipas and beheaded at the request of Salome. Her mother, Herodias, wanted John dead. And if you want, and you know that we know about that from Mark chapter 6, verses 17 through 28. Um, in 33
Did you say
AD,
did you say AD?
yep,
Go back. You said read that again.
in 30 AD, in 30 AD, Jesus is baptized by John the Baptist. John is later imprisoned by Herod Antipas and beheaded at the request of Salome, her mother. Herodias wanted John dead.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking is because how can it be AD? Because that's after the death of Christ.
Not necessarily. Um, technically, well, according to, I ain't gonna say not necessarily, but according to the timeline in this book, which is the biblical events from Assyria to America, it was 30 AD, and then Christ was crucified in 33 AD.
Hmm.
Now
So
this
they so basically that book is saying that the time is off.
somewhat, yes, yes.
Yeah, they got to be saying the time off. If they saying that Christ was baptized in 30 AD, and
hmm
AD means after the death of Christ, they got to be saying that the time is off. I just heard that and it just caught my ear when you said it. I was like, AD.
They
hmm
shall change times and laws.
hmm
Ain't
Yeah,
that
but go
Daniel
ahead,
9
Hebrew.
24?
I,
Ain't that
I
Daniel
just
9
heard that
24?
and I just wanted to ask, make sure that that's what you meant to say. But go ahead.
Yeah, they well, and then it goes into Christ being crucified, and I'm gonna read this, and this is a reference out of a book called "The Antiquities of the Jews." Flavius Josephus' most well-known reference to Jesus the Christ is in Book 18, Chapter 3, and is and is commonly called the Testimonium of Flavium. And it reads 3. Now there was about this time Jesus, a wise man, if it be lawful to call him a man, for he was a doer of wonderful works, a teacher of such men as receive the truth with pleasure. He drew over to him both many of the Jews and many of the Gentiles. He was the Christ. And when Pilate at the time suggest Salaki, and when Pilate at the suggestion of the principal men among us had condemned him to the cross, those that loved him at the first did not forsake him, for he appeared to them alive again the third day, as the divine prophets had foretold. These and 10,000 other wonderful things concerning him, and the tribe of Christians so named from him are not extinct at this day. So let me give you a little backstory on Josephus. Josephus was around at the time of Christ, and these were picked up from some of his letters. Um, because he would end up he was a part of a Jew um warrior camp, I guess you can say, and they ended up getting captured. And when he got captured, the Caesar at that time found him valuable, uh, which would uh which would keep him around. But I'm gonna read it just so you know just to bag up what I'm saying. Let me see where I need to start at. All right. Josephus, also known as Flavius Josephus, was a first century Judean historian who is best known for his works, The Jewish War and Antiquities of the Jews. These are books that we can get. Once again, if you are interested in these books, they are called The Jewish
I
War.
got that book.
Okay. The Jewish War and Antiquities of the Jews. He is considered one of the most important sources for history. Salaki, he is considered one of the most important sources for history of the Jews and the history of the Roman Empire during his time. Josephus lived through 70 AD. He was born around 37 AD and lived until around 100 AD. Josephus was a Judean historian and general who initially fought against the Romans during the First Jewish-Roman War, but was captured and surrendered to the Roman forces led by Titus, the son of Emperor Vespasian. After surrendering, Josephus became a servant and an advisor to Titus and Vespasian. He accompanied Titus during the siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD and witnessed the destruction of the Second Temple. Josephus wrote detailed accounts of significant events in Jewish history, such as the Jewish Roman wars and the destruction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, have provided valuable insights for scholars and historians studying this time period. So this just giving you a background story on who Josephus was, but he basically was a credible source for the things that went on around that time. So if you are interested in knowing a little bit more about the backstory behind 70 AD and the things that went on during that time, you should get the books that are called, once again, The Jewish War and the Antiquities of the Jews. Say one more, The Jewish War and the Antiquities of the Jews. But let's
I'm
see
telling
here.
you, hey Salakia Hebrew,
Go ahead.
that book has a lot of valuable information in it. And it starts during the time when you start in that book, it starts during the time of Genesis. And Josephus walk us all the way up to the time of the Jewish wars and um the time of Christ and 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 uh and Herod and all of those guys that came along, and he gives firsthand events on things that happen. Like it's a very good read. I learned a lot from that book. It's worth it, and it's not expensive
Uh,
either. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Praises. All right, so in 31 AD, the martyrdom of Saint Stephen happened. And then in 32 AD, Saul is converted to Christ and is called Paul. In 37 AD, Rome, 37 AD, Tiberius dies and is succeeded by Caligula to 41 AD. Herod Agrippa becomes king of northern Israel. In 41 AD, the assassination of Caligula happens. So Claudius becomes emperor to 54 AD. 45 AD, Paul begins his missionary journeys in the eastern Mediterranean to spread Christianity. In 54 AD, Claudius is assassinated and succeeded by Nero. And Nero reigns from 54 AD to 68 AD. In 55 AD, Agrippa II, also called Marcus Julius Agrippa, great grandson of Herod the Great, through Miriam the first, son Aristobulus. Agrippa had an incestuous Salakia. Agrippa had an incestuous affair with his sister Bernice, and after her husband Herod of Chalcis died, which is you can read about this in Acts 25 and 13, and in Acts 26 and 1. Then Agrippa said unto Paul, Thou art permitted to speak for thyself. Then Paul stretched forth the hand, and I'm reading it. Paul stretched forth the hand and answered for himself. I think myself happy, King Agrippa, because I shall answer for myself this day before the touching all the things whereof am accused of the Jews, especially because I know thee to be an expert in all customs and questions which are among the Jews. Wherefore I beseech thee to hear me patiently. This is Acts 26, verses 2 and 3. Agrippa was an expert because of John Hyrcanus, which was a descendant of the Maccabees. Uh, Agrippa was an expert because John Hyrcanus had forced all Idumeans to become Jewish by force. Okay. Now in 58 AD, in China, Emperor Ming Ti introduces Buddhism. So Buddhism started in 58 AD. And in 64 AD, Rome fire destroys the city of Rome. The Israelite Christians are blamed for it, and they are subsequently persecuted. And Saint Peter is executed. In 65 AD, Saint Mark's Gospel is written. In 66 AD, Jewish revolt against the Romans goes on from 66 AD to 70 AD. In 67 AD, murder of Saint Paul happens, which is he was used as a martyr. In 68 AD, rebellions in Rome continue, and Nero commits suicide. 69 AD Rome, year of the four emperors Galba, Otho, Vitellius, and Vespasian. Vespasian defeats Vitellius to become emperor of Rome up until 79 AD. He founds the Flavian dynasty of emperors. Historian Josephus becomes his servant, which we just read about, which was Flavius Josephus. And in 70 AD, Titus, Vespasian's sons, destroys Jerusalem and suppresses the Jews' revolt. Uh, the diaspora, or the expulsion of the Jews, takes place, which I somebody get me Luke 21 and read verses 20 through 24. Luke 21 verses 20 through 24.
All right. Luke 21, verse 20, and it reads, And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the
Compass.
desolate my bad. Salaki, let me start it over. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is high. Is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Keep going.
Ah, praise. No, you good, you
Okay.
good, you good. I
All right.
appreciate it. Um,
Yes, sir.
there's a time. I'm gonna read a little bit. And this is just, I want to read this because this is something that we had went over in other classes, but I feel like it's important to bring this out because having books like this gives you a better description of who is who and what is going on and who was talking and who they was talking to. But let me just continue to read. Christ prophesies the real Israelites would be scattered and sold into slavery among all nations, and, and Jerusalem would be taken over by other nations like Edomites and Arabs until the time of Gentile rulership is over when Christ returns. Now I'm going to read another reference, which is the history of the Jews from the destruction of Jerusalem to the present time by Hannah Adams, published 1818, and this is page 67, and it reads, while the Roman forces were besieging Jotapata, the inhabitants of Jaffa, a neighboring city, rebelled. The general sent a powerful army against them, and they were reduced. After an obstinate siege, all the men amounting to 15,000 were massacred, and the women and children made prisoners. About a week after, the Samaritans who had assembled in righteous manner on Mount Gerizim were almost all put to the sword or perished. Joppa, which had been formerly laid waste by Cestius, being now repeopled and fortified by some seditious Jews who infested the country, fell the next victim to the Roman vengeance. When the imperial army invaded that city, large numbers of the wretched inhabitants betook themselves to their ships, but they were driven back by a violent tempest, which dashed the vessels against the rocks. In this extreme distress, many perished by suicide, others were swallowed up by the waves or crushed by the broken ships, and such as were enabled to reach the shore were killed by the merciless Romans. The sea was for a long space discolored with blood. 4,200 dead bodies strode the coast, and not a messenger remained to report the great calamity at Jerusalem. Adams, this is publishing. This is page 68, Salaki, and it continues. After Vespasian had refreshed his troops, he marched to Tiberias. The city yielded, and the inhabitants were spared at the moving intercession of King Agrippa. Tetra, Territory, or the on the Sea of the Galilee, was next attacked, and after an abstinent resistance reduced by the victorious Romans, multitudes of Jews were destroyed, and upwards of 30,000 sold for slaves. Remember what Christ told the Samaritan woman. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus said unto her, give me to drink. This is I'm still reading from the reference, which in this case they quoted John chapter 4, verse 7. And they also went on to quote John 4 and 20. Well, let me just read it. Jesus said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. This was in John 4:21. This refers to 70 AD. Let me see. Uh, All right. In 73 AD, Jewish stronghold at Masada falls to the Romans. In 80 AD, St. Luke's gospel is written. So I wanted to bring this out because I had brought something out earlier in 65 AD, St. Mark's gospel was written. But now you see in 80 AD, St. Luke's gospel is written. Then in 90 AD, St. Matthew's gospel is written. So what does this, brothers on the panel, what does this tell us? These two timeline events that I just read, what does this tells us?
Read that again, Hebrew.
In 80 AD, St. Luke's gospel is written. In 90 AD, St. Matthew's gospel is written. You hear
I
me, brother
don't really.
Steph?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I don't know. I
Hey, I
don't know
ain't
what
ashamed
you're
to
looking
say I
for
don't
out
know.
of that.
I don't know. I don't know what you look for, Hebrew. I'm lost in the sauce, Hebrew.
Oh no, no, hey, this is something that we always commonly say. The New Testament was not written at the time that the New Testament was going on. So with that being said, the disciples, Yahweh Shai, and all the other people that practice Christianity the right way, all they had to go off of was the Old Testament. Y'all would agree with that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this timeline proves that. So like this timeline proves that around the time of the New Testament, they were still going off the Old Testament. That's just something that I wanted to bring out because as you can see, like in 80 AD, this is after Jerusalem fell. In 90 AD, this is after Jerusalem fell. St. Luke's gospel is written. St. Matthew's gospel is written. In 193 AD, Rome Empire was conquered and overthrown by an Israelite from North Africa named Septimius Severus and the gladiators who aided him. However, despised his people, the Jews that kept God's commandments. This event was followed by the Dark Ages. It was called the Dark Ages because people were stupid. In Slovakia, it wasn't called the Dark Ages because people were stupid. It was called the Dark Ages because black people ruled.
The only
Right.
thing, and I know that the brother, I know the bishop probably did his research. Well, not probably. I know he did thorough research on those dates.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's my first time hearing those dates. That's gonna cause me to dig. That's gonna give me some homework because I'm definitely
Right.
gonna look into those dates. Um, I don't have a reason to doubt the information because I know Esau is a liar and the truth ain't in him. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Um, but yeah, yeah, all praise to the Most High.
This is I feel like if anything, this just gives you I feel like the Bible doesn't bring a lot of this stuff out. And I'm saying that to say this. Let's just say there is a chance that there's some dates might be off. This still gives you an idea of what was really going on in that time. This gives you the deeper details as into which the Bible may well doesn't cover descriptively.
Oh, it's definitely very informative. Um, and it puts a lot of things in perspective. It's a lot of great information in there. And what it does, man, is even with the 10 horns and those prophecies in Daniel that we read, that breakdown that he gave of that, it just gives a good understanding, man. It gives the sense of the scriptures. And for those of us that have read those prophecies and wanted to understand them, because I'm not gonna lie, without the elders doing the research and breaking those scriptures down, I never knew who those kingdoms were. I'm not
Right.
gonna sit here and tell no lie like I did. And that's the reason why you need elders. That's the reason why you need those old gray hairs to do the leg work. For those of us that come along later to pick it up and it give us perspective, man.
That's right.
That's the importance to having those older men around, man. And the Most
Mm-hmm.
High putting His spirit on them brothers to break this
Mm-hmm.
stuff down for us, man. No, those dates ain't no stumbling block or nothing. You know, this is a reference book. He's not
Mm-hmm.
saying that those dates are written in stone. He's not saying, that he know everything. The brother is just trying to give us a reference to give us a better understanding, and I appreciate that.
Right.
All praise to the Most High.
Well, as I close, I'm gonna read these last I'm gonna read these last three dates, and I'm gonna close which I actually it was a bunch of, let's see, it's one, look like one, two, No, I'm gonna go and fit these in. Let me fit these in. I'm just gonna cover the timelines. In 570 AD to 630 AD, which is a big time jump, but it's if y'all find time to be looking for some stuff to add to your book collection, um you should look into the Jews of Khazaria, second edition, written by Kevin Alon Brook, published in 1999. It got some good stuff in it. um Okay, in 570 AD to 632 AD, Prophet Muhammad was an Arab religious and political leader and the founder of Islam. Arabs descend from Abraham's son Ishmael, which, for the reference to this, is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, published in 1993, page 256 and 257. Um, another good book you can look into is The Ancient Jewish Diaspora in Japan, the Tribe of Haddah. Um, then again, we got 711 AD. Moors, which consisted of Arabs, black Muslims, and black Jews, conquered Spain and Portugal. This reign lasted for about 700 years. Who were those black Jews and Moors? Um, Oh, that's a question. Okay, that's a question. Never mind. That wasn't a part of the timeline. Um, Another good book you can look into is The Modern Part of a Universal History from the Earliest Account of Time, compiled from original writers, volume 13, by the authors of the Ancient Part, published 1859. And my last two timelines for as I close on this, 7082 to 838 AD, in the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia, a mass conversion of Caucasian Khazars converted to Judaism. They adopted the name Ashkenazi, called themselves Jewish, and studied the Talmud, the Torah, and the Kabbalah. In 800 AD, the Arab slave trade continued. Um, and as I close, I will be doing two more parts of this. Probably not in the next couple weeks, because I would like to do a deeper research on the next two captivities, which would be the Spanish captivity and the captivity that we are in today. But when I do the research, I'll get back. I'll do a part three and a part four to this. But like I said, I'm real big on history. It's the history that helps us understand the things that really went on in the Bible. It's the history that helps us understand what was being said in biblical events. And it's important to have books like this, like Brother Stephen said, they are big references to things, and they clear up a lot of things that the Bible doesn't necessarily give us in detail. And like I've said in many other lessons before, if you don't have a book collection, man, this is a great time for you to go buy some books off Amazon and start you a collection, because these things will help you understand what is really going on. These types of books help you understand and clear up the confusion that happens a lot in that the confusion that happens a lot of times when we are reading the Bible and don't know who is who. So I just want to say I appreciate everybody bearing with me. I know I did a lot of reading, but like I said, I feel like a lot of this stuff needed to be brought out. This is stuff that can help you understand things in the Bible as you read it, especially in the New Testament. Like I said, I appreciate the brothers bearing with me as well and bringing those scripts out when they did. And this has been Clandestine Timeline Part 2. There will be a 3 and 4. Once I do the proper research on it, read a little bit more myself. But I just want to say, you know, I appreciate y'all for bearing with me. And brothers, y'all got anything y'all want to say?
Yes, sir, man. Great lesson, Hebrew. Learned, like I said, I'm learning a lot about putting this stuff in its proper context with these names and dates and understanding the deeper getting in behind the scenes of what was going on in the political realm amongst these heathens. You get what I'm saying? And what
Mm-hmm.
our people and how our people was operating during these times. So like I said, I love it. I love history anyway. And when you do these type of lessons, my ears like a dome of pitch, and they just hone in. You get what I'm saying?
All praises.
All praise the Doma Pincher ear.
It's time
Uh,
for you to go to bed, ain't it? Bedtime.
oh yeah, man. But yeah, Hebrew, man, a lot of good information. Um, that's a great book to add to the collection. I'm definitely gonna add it to my repertoire. Um, I enjoyed it, bro. It's a lot of information came out. I know there was a lot of notes taken tonight. I hope so. And you just did a great lesson, Hebrew. Hey, I enjoyed it, man. All praises.
All praises.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep, yep, we can hear you.
Okay, okay. I just want to say, man, I came in late, but the little bit that I did hear Hebrew, it was very intriguing and very what's the word I'm looking for? Edifying. And like I said, bro, you did a excellent job as usual. All three of y'all, you know what I'm saying, do a phenomenal job. And man, I just want to give all praise to the Most High for allowing me to get on here for the time that I did get on here. And again, I apologize for my tardiness. I had some stuff going on that kept me away from my my phone that went dead, and I was on the highway. But the Most High saw fit that I did get back and link up with my brethren, man. And all praises and
All
shalom to
praises.
y'all and shalom to the people in the chat. And I pray that with all this weather going on, that the Most High has kept each and everybody protected with the blood of Hamashiach and just kept us sheltered, man. All praises, hallelujah.
All right, with that being said, man, who want to grab the shout outs?
Oh, having a conference call after the lesson. So the people in the chat, there's the code and the number. There's the code and the number. Right here, up, write it down. Me and Cortez, and if you brothers on the panel want to get in behind that with me and Cortez, we gonna talk to the people. We want to set up a what we want to set up is like a where we read a few scriptures and like scriptures of encouragement and if anybody need prayer or whatever, it's just a backdoor channel where we can fellowship when they take down YouTube or they take away this channel. Our people have a way to get in touch with us behind the scenes. We're gonna behind the scenes when we get y'all in there. We want to set up a permanent date that's good for everybody. 'Cause I know we're on different time zone. Maybe Wednesday be a best day. What you think, Cortez? Wednesday night.
When still works since I mean we don't have anything to fill in that slot for Wednesday, because we had a class set for Wednesday, so we could use that to fill in that slot, you
Yeah,
know.
we'll come like on a Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Eastern, our time, Central Time, whatever time zone that'll be for y'all. We'll discuss that behind the scenes with everybody. What'll be a good time for everybody. So look, there's the number in the chat. Now Cortez didn't want me to put this out on the front, but I can put it in the chat. So there's the number. You dial the number first. I gotta give instruction, Cortez. You dial the number first, then you put that code in. And when you put that in, that will let you in the room. Now, let me say this one more thing. Soon as the live over with, me and Cortez are going to that number. Soon as it's over. Okay, I'm done, y'all. Oh yeah. Your donations. I'll let Brother Stephen do that. Go ahead, Brother Steph.
Yeah, you do the shout out.
Not yet. I'm gonna do it after you do the about the day in the park.
Okay, okay. Yeah, all praise to the Most High. We still taking donations for the Kids Day in the Park for June the 29th. Um, the cash out is on the screen for anybody that feel compelled or led by the Most High to donate. No amount is too small. If you don't have a 50 cent, hey, send 50 cent. Hey, it'll buy something. But like I said, we did have enough to go ahead and pay for the venue. We got the venue paid for that we're going to use. We plan on getting a water slide and a bounce house for the children. We'll be doing hamburgers, hot dogs, drinks, chips, and maybe snow cones as well. Um, we'll be doing football, flag football. We'll be doing cornhole, pitching washers. Um, we'll be
Kickball.
doing kickball and maybe bring a couple of trucks out there, let the kids see what the inside of an 18-wheeler truck look like. You know, maybe we'll take them for a couple of blocks and speak with them about what they plan to do with their lives and just share the word of the Most High with them and let them have a good experience for a day. Some kids don't eat in their homes. Some kids don't have somebody to talk to them and ask them what do you desire to be when you grow up and try to give them some information on how to accomplish that goal. You know, um, and to just have other children to play with where they're not arguing and being in a stressful environment um, where drugs and alcohol and things like that, is always in their homes. We just want to give them one day um, of spending time with other Israelite kids and just let them be children, you know. Um, and again, share the word of the Most High God with them. And secondly, remember we got the feast coming up, the 6th through the 8th of June. Everybody be prepared for that. Um, if you're coming down, we're looking forward to seeing you. Um, go ahead and book your rooms in advance. And if you can, if anybody coming that haven't already told us, let us know so we can get add you to the head count. And that's all I have, brother.
Man, all praise to the Most High, Hebrew. Appreciate y'all putting it on the screen about the feast dates. Uh, we love y'all, family. So we're gonna do the shout outs. We're gonna say shout out to Sister Arlene Foster in the building. I want to see you in the. I want you to click that number, Sister Arlene, when we get off here. And write that down, because I want to talk to you. The notorious Hebrew, Shalom. I want to talk to you too, sister. Sister Jill, click that link, that number up there. I want to talk. I want to talk to everybody in here. Sister Shonda, Shalom. MC to the X Project. I want to see you in there. Marie Dukes, I want to see you in there. Sister Brenda Hill, Shalom, sis. I want to see you in there. Let's see. Same people. Same people. I just said. Sister Mary Grice. Shalom, Auntie. How you doing? You are Auntie. You my Auntie. You KG Mama, but you my Auntie. All right. Shalom, Auntie.
Oh man.
uh, Hallelujah. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I don't miss nobody. Uh, Brother King Yaz Ben Yehuda. Shalom, brother. Click the link. I want to see you in there, Hebrew. Sister Shonda, I said your name. I want you in. I want you in there too. Click that number. Get that. Write that code down. Brother B. Lou in the building. Our brother B. Lou. All praise to the Most High. Let me give my brother his flowers. He make our T-shirts. All praise. Him and his wife. Very talented. Uh, my brother DSB in the building. DSB Shalom. Shadaria Yishra Yasharel. I want to see you in there. DSB, I want to see you in there. Everybody in here, I want to see you in there. All right. That's all I see right now, brother. That's all I got. I called out everybody.
All right. Well, with that being said, this has been another exciting episode of Back to the Basics Tuesdays.
He said
And
exciting
we're
that
out.
time.
Hey, I gotta switch it. Hey, you gotta switch it up sometimes. You can't say the same thing every episode. You gotta keep it compelling. You know what I'm saying? Man. DJ, where's my music, DJ?
The music playing. Can he hear me? The music playing, KG. He can't hear the music.
I just wanna live for the most high. Can I have a body with no miles on it? Put the spirit in me so I can't die. Tired of seeing faces with no smiles on it. We can only correct our flaws through commandments and statutes and laws. That should not kill, that should not steal. We have to follow them all. Get your understanding through the precept. Thought up online, that's the concept. Here's just a little, that's just a little. Repenting from sin is the first step. The word in my mouth like a enamel. Christ coming back like a phantom. It's harder for a rich man to get to heaven than it is to get through the aisle with a camel. Tell the children, get ready for slaughter. We dropping these spiritual martyrs.
This for Esau, his sons and his daughters. For the iniquities of their fathers. This our road to redemption. See God in repentance while praying for vengeance. Put in work out fulfilling his vision. Make the nation bow down to the remnant. All of the Anthony Oscars, foot on their neck of an Oscar. Heathens committed to treason, invited to slaughter of Basra. This ain't Big Pharma, dying no script like a doctor. Proud to be part of the roster, covered by the most high armor. It's an honor, watch their eyes of torment while they stuck in their posture. We promise salvation, they giving damnation. Vengeance granted to the saints for their patience. Follow his will, eternal life embrace it. The last will be first at his celebration. Chase it, no hesitation. Send me the orders with a body David. From the cliffs of the rock, rip out their faces. Follow God's law, receive of his payment. Romans 6:23 translated.
Tell the children, get ready for slaughter. We dropping these spiritual martyrs.
This for Esau, his sons and his daughters. For the iniquities of their fathers. This our road to redemption. See God in repentance while praying for vengeance. Put in work out fulfilling his vision. Make the nation bow down to the remnant. We ain't preaching, we teaching to follow the law. Teach them dogs to bow down, make them follow they paw. Precept pure and uncut, give it straight to the rock. Break the script down like molecules, all just for y'all. Let I name it like yourself, that what you born do. Everything I'm saying be super just like I'm Goku. The day I said I was an Israelite, I took an oath to teach all of my folk to stay afloat just like a boat do. See all them fears that we went through, they didn't fear us. I'm in love with his presence and the gift he gave us. Thinking about all of them false idols that we made up. I'm still amazed at all of the graces that he gave us. Make sure that you study for yourself and don't just take the word that we say. Keep a lot of Israelites around you like a feast day. Follow all the law, despite what the pulpit precinct. The pretty y'all promise, so send all of your prayers to East Way.
Tell the children, get ready for slaughter. We dropping these spiritual martyrs.
This for Esau, his sons and his daughters. For the iniquities of their fathers. This our road to redemption. See God in repentance while praying for vengeance. Put in work out fulfilling his vision. Make the nation bow down to the remnant.